Welcome to Hide and Seek TV, and I'm about to get ready to break this down right now. The Harden trade. Now, this right here was a very, very symbolic trade. You feel what I'm saying? And like I'm gonna delve into the Russell Westbrook as well, because all of this is so deep. All right, first off, as we can see, James Harden traded to the Nets. I'm playing. Let the clip play right quick.
Brooklyn and the 76ers ultimately put their best offers on the table, and Brooklyn's desire to get James Harden to go with Kevin Durant and obviously Kyrie Irving when he returns. They were just determined to get this deal done. 3 first-round picks from them, 4 pick swaps. Obviously, the pick that goes through Cleveland to the Rockets, who get a great return for this, but this is a Brooklyn organization that
All right, well, I'm about to get ready to break down part 3 of this whole NBA
is all in
spiritual
right now.
warfare parallel, and I'm about to delve deep into why James Harden now ends up on Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant. As we know, James Harden was just playing with Russell Westbrook. I'm about to break this whole thing down with this big 3 with the Thunder, but this right here is very symbolic. I'm gonna let the clip roll, and then I'm about to delve and chime right on in.
Now,
You mentioned Kyrie Irving's name, and he, of course, has been kind of a nuisance for this team of late. He remains absent from the Nets for personal reasons and under league investigation for potentially violating COVID-19 protocols. So you have Harden, you have
All right, but didn't they just say Kyrie Irving saying that he was breaking COVID-19 protocols? Didn't they say that same thing with James Harden, COVID-19? Like, didn't they just say he was breaking protocols? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm about to get not even to digress, but let me just get into this. As you can see, back in 2002, you had the three-peat of the Lakers, and the last team they beat was the Nets, the New Jersey Nets. At the time, it was called New Jersey Nets. And the team that followed up after that was the Detroit Pistons. Like I said, I'm about to delve right into this, man. The Detroit Pistons was the next team, and as you know, the Detroit Pistons logo is a horse. You feel what I'm saying? It's nothing but a horse. So, like I've been breaking that down right there. As you can see, it's the black horse. You feel what I'm saying? And when we know about the black horse in the scripture, that literally represents the famine and everything that's coming on, the 4 horsemen. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm about to do is I'm about to delve a little deeper into this, because as you can see, hint the word, the nets, and then you have the Lakers. Nets, like a fish net, and Lakers. Now, as you understand that, you will understand scripture. You'll know that the beast emerges from the lakes because it's risen up. You feel what I'm saying? So pay attention to that. Nets, Lakers, nets, Lakers. And as it's written in Revelation 13, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads, 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So once again, I'm going to say this again. Nets and Lakers. Nets, Lakers. Now in 2002, which was the year the finals happened between the Lakers and Nets, the DC sniper attacks happened. You remember? This literally happened in October 2002. This was after the NBA Finals that year. And as you know, John Allen Muhammad was age 41 at the time, and the sniper Lee Boyd Malvo was age 17 at the time. Kobe, drafted at 17, right? Died at 41. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to delve deep in it, and I want y'all to bear witness with me, because like I said already, the after the Lakers, after they won that finals, what happened? They played against the Pistons, and what color is that horse? I just showed you. The color of the horse was literally the black horse. And that was one of Kobe's worst performances in the finals. He was really the reason they lost that finals. Like I already broke down about LeBron James, who did he play when he lost? Heat versus Mavericks, 2011. The Mavericks is what? The white horse. You see that? The white horse in Revelation. The white horse in Revelation represents death. You feel what I'm saying? Or the four horsemen. So I'm about to delve into this, man. Kevin Durant, Westbrook, and James Harden played together was in 2012 against the Lakers. You see that? The Thunder against the Lakers. That was the playoffs that year, the first round of the playoffs. Um, the OKC Thunder, they lost that game. This is a regular season game, but the last game that they played regular season together was against the Lakers, and then they played them in the first round of the playoffs, which they won. But OKC had 106 points in that regular season game. You feel what I'm saying? They had 106 points. Now look at this right here. September 29th is Kevin Durant's birthday. Remember that 106. 106 points. Now, James Harden got traded on January 13th to the Nets. There's 106 days between Kevin Durant's birthday and the day of the trade happened in January 13th. And I just said back in 2012 that they scored 106 points. You remember that? And as you see, the Nets as well, their last game was January 12th. Yep, January 12th. And the Lakers' record was last game was January 12th. Now, Lakers literally was 10-3. That equals 13. 10 plus 3 is 13. 7 plus 6 equals 13. I just said that James Harden was traded on January 13th, on the 13th day. James Harden was traded on the 13th day of the year. You see that? James Harden wears number 13. Do you see where I'm going? So it's like, come on, man. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Harden's last NBA Finals was against Miami Heat when LeBron James was there. Now, this right here literally represents, like I said, they play for OKC Thunder versus the Lake of Fire. That represents the great storm of destruction. Now, notice that was 2012 that they played together. The last time KD and James Harden played together. You feel what I'm saying? Swap the numbers. 2021. They're back together. You feel what I'm saying? Just swap the numbers. 12 and 21. Come on, man. And like I just said, Lakers and Nets now is like the anticipated NBA Finals. This happened in 2002. You feel what I'm saying? So like, look at that. Like I said, that's the Lakers, the lakes, and the nets, like the fish net, where the beasts rise up out of the sea. Because remember, I just said that the Lakers played the Pistons in 2004. And that the Pistons logo, after they had their three-peat, remember after they won their 3 championships, because in October 2002 with the DC sniper attacks, remember I just told you, the John Muhammad was 41 and Lee Boyd Malvo was 17 at the time. Kobe was drafted at 17, died at 41. And during that time, they had 3 weeks of nonstop killings in the DC area. This was the Lakers three-peat in 2002, which is the same year that I just mentioned. The 3 weeks of killing in DC was 2002. You feel what I'm saying? The Lakers and the Nets. And like I said, after that came the Black Horse. You feel me? After that came the Black Horse. And I already show you what happened to LeBron after when he joined Miami Heat, how he lost to the White Horse, representing death. You feel what I'm saying? And now notice, anticipated NBA Finals this year is definitely going to be Lakers versus Nets. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said before, as you can see, you had James Harden, who played with the Thunder and the Rockets. Westbrook played with the Thunder and the Rockets. I'm gonna delve into Westbrook momentarily, but now you see how James Harden played with Kevin Durant and Thunder, and now James Harden and KD are both on the Nets. You feel what I'm saying? Because as you understand that, you got the fire and the brimstone. You know what I mean? When you look at a rocket, it represents fire and brimstone. You feel what I'm saying in scripture? When you look at the net, it represents bringing forth out the beast that I was just talking about. You know what I mean? Nothing but chaos. And then when you understand the storm, the OKC thunder, notice how it say that the behold clouds from the east and north and to the south. You feel me? Because as you know the scripture, it came from the west. It's all directions, nothing but a horrible great storm. That's why you had OKC thunder, which is nothing but the west, which the storm traveled. You had Westbrook, Durant, and James Harden all travel from the west to the south to the east. You see that shit. Only thing with Durant, he went from OKC to Golden State, and then notice how Golden State collapsed after that, and then now he's in the east. You feel where I'm going? So like I said, all this stuff is so symbolic. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm about to delve into Westbrook, because James Harden, all of this stuff is being fulfilled right before our eyes, man. Literally right before our eyes. Because, like I said, I'm about to delve into Westbrook, and I want you to bear with me on this because this is serious. Now, back in December 6th, I had made a post where I was talking about how Westbrook went from OKC Thunder, like I just mentioned, the storm. You feel what I'm saying? That's traveling from the west to the east to the north to the south. You feel what I'm saying? I said how he went from the Thunder to the Rockets, right? To Washington Wizards. Now, like I said, that's the storm, that's the brimstone, and when you understand a wizard, that's the sorcery of the beast, where all man should worship the beast. You feel me? And his witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? The great whore of Babylon, the queen of heaven. You know what I mean? The defiled scarlet whore. But let me just delve into this. The storm come from the west to the south to the east, like I just said about Thunder, Rockets to Wizards. In this case, now you got James Harden going from OKC to the Rockets, well, from the Thunder to the Rockets to the Nets. You feel what I'm saying? You remember this right here, the Lakers and the Nets. You feel me? So I'm about to delve into this some more. And when you understand how Westbrook, notice Durant and Westbrook jerseys changed. You know what I mean? Durant used to wear number 35 when he was in OKC. Now he's number 7. You feel what I'm saying? When you look at James Harden, he's still the same. You feel what I mean? He's number 13. Notice Westbrook went from number 0 to number 4. You feel what I'm saying? Pay attention to that. When you understand that, the Book of the Four, which is by Aleister Crowley, which is nothing but of the magic spells. You feel what I'm saying? When you understand that, that's why LeBron won his 4th ring this year. Sue Bird won her 4th ring. And what does she play for? The Seattle Storms. But as you see, Revelation 7, the 4 winds being held back before destruction by fire. That's why the NBA Finals was the Lakers versus Heat. The Lake of Fire. You feel where I'm going? Like, this stuff is deep. And then when you pay attention to that, notice John Wall is number 2, and Westbrook became number 4 when he got traded. You know, when they traded Wall for Westbrook, that literally was number 4 and number 2, swapping. Because, well, Westbrook went from number 0 to number 4. John Wall was number 2, and he still is number 2 in Houston. But like I was saying, the symbolism is so heavy because when you understand that, like during the time of Joshua in the scriptures, when he blew the trumpets, the walls fell down. Therefore, the land of Canaan was invaded. You know what I'm saying? Notice why they sent John Wall to Houston Rockets, because that's the wall that they're trying to say symbolically to try to protect themselves from the fire and brimstone that's coming. That's why you have James Harden on the Nets now, traded from Houston Rockets. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It's no coincidence. Like, this stuff is right in our faces. And as you can see, Mia Khalifa was the one saying, "Oh, I'm gonna miss John Wall. I'm a big John Wall fan." That represents, like I said, the whore. the beast, you feel me? The whore that rides upon the beast, literally basically crying out because destruction is near. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, this right here was a real symbolic video because when you really pay attention to James Harden and why all of this stuff is happening, it's right in our faces. Because as we know, Kobe Bryant, like I said, Kobe and Shaq separated. I already broke this down on part 1 of my videos, which or the video for this breakdown. You have to watch it because I go deep in depth on why Kobe Bryant and Shaq, how they broke apart, and how Kyrie and LeBron broke apart, and how Kyrie's on the Nets, and how LeBron is in the Lakers, because that represents the Dodgers, Brooklyn Dodgers, and the LA Lakers. Like Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robinson, who was on the Brooklyn Dodgers, and LeBron James played he played on the Lakers where Kobe used to play. And you know, I already know how Kobe and Chadwick Boseman, I've been breaking this down for the longest through videos. On part 2, I even broke that down, but like how they playing a huge role in this whole thing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna end that right here. And like I said, this right here was a real deep thing because it's literally right in our faces. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in that right here. Peace.